RJ Hampton just feels like a Nugget to me.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He feels like the next Nugget.
He's even, I'm going to save it, but some Mr. Nugget tendencies.
Oh, some Mr.
A little
Nugget
bit
potential.
here and there.
Down the road. Oh, the police.
The police are here to arrest you for that take.
Such a take that the police got called. No, RJ Hampton, guys, picked this year in the draft by the Denver Nuggets 24th. The Nuggets actually purchased a pick to be able to get him, or moved up, I should say, traded to be able to take him. That's how much they liked him. And every year the Nuggets keep doing this. They get a player that has this like tantalizing, as Eric would like to say, tantalizing upside. I mean, RJ Hampton is a 24th pick in that he's a 24th, not 10th, because he could be a bust. But if he hits, he's like, the Russell Westbrook potential, like this super athlete. Let's start by taking a look at last year's stats, though. And of course, these came in the Australian League: 9 points, 9.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 3-point field goal percentage. Not that great, but he's been working out with my guy, Mike Miller. So that problem's solved. No, what stands out to you, Vote, when you look at these stats here?
The 3-point number stands out because obviously we're talking about a guy who hopes to be, I'm sure he hopes to be a star at the guard position in the NBA, and that is so difficult to do without a jumper. And you mentioned the sort of Westbrook-esque comp. He really does have that top-tier, elite-tier athleticism. Mm-hmm. But, man, even a guy like Russ at times in his career, wouldn't it have been a lot easier for him if he had that jumper? So to unlock a lot of things, especially, whatever that first role it is he's going to fill in Denver, he's got to be able, to be a threat as a catch and shooter. And there's a lot of work to be done at this point.
Yeah. He struggled a lot in the Australia and New Zealand league last year, but he was playing against grown men. He was playing against professionals. And that league, if you ask people, is a really physical league. It's a really physical league for somebody like Hampton, who was 18 years old when he was playing it. And I believe he reclassified in high school as well. So he really should have been a high school senior last year. So he's super young. The talent, of course, is tantalizing. And it's just going to be about him honing his skills because, like Vote said, the 3-point percentage, it's a concern for sure.
What do you think, Eric?
I don't know. I mean, when you say that he played in a physical league, I feel like the NBA is quite physical. It's like a lot of I don't know that moving to the NBA is going to help solve his woes.
And I don't think it's about solving woes as much as it is he's prepared for that. That's like one obstacle he's already
It's why
had.
his stats didn't look like a typical top recruit who goes and plays his freshman season. Right. The stats didn't look like that.
Yeah, I mean that 3-point percentage was pretty rough. But again,
it's not on that many attempts, though. To be fair,
okay. Mike Miller can I'm sure help him out with that. I'm very intrigued by RJ Hampton. I just don't know how much we're going to see him is the problem. I imagine,
especially without a G League season.
There's no G League
exactly.
He feels like a player that we would draft and we would hear rumblings about in the G League. Like, oh man, he's really lighting it up down there. I can't wait till we see him. Blah blah blah. I feel like we're just going to see a lot of him on the bench, at the end of the bench, hanging out with Vlatko. But, which is appropriate. Like, rookies generally don't play that much, and I don't really see any difference for him.
Well, I agree with you, and that's why our big question with regards to RJ Hampton is, what do you think he should be working on in his redshirt year? And I got to give you guys one of my media pet peeves. I hate whenever you ask any player what they worked on over the summer, the answer is always the same. I worked on my all-around game. Really just all aspects of it.
No, this is something, conspiracy corner here.
Oh, wow.
This is something that I think players have started to say more and more, just like nobody compares themselves to any player directly anymore.
Yeah.
It's, you've always worked on your all-around game. This is what players are supposed to our coach to say. I didn't work on any little aspect. I worked on everything.
Because there is always that jerk writer that's like, someone's like, I really worked on my my jumper. Didn't work on his defense this summer.
Exactly.
Apparently, it's just like, oh my god. So you just say all around game.
I worked on all aspects of my game.
But I'm being serious now. If there was one thing that he can hone in on, of course he's going to work on all of his game. But if there's one thing, what would it be in your opinion?
Let's go to win first. I want to hear
Shooting's the easiest one. I mean, you can just stand in a gym by
one.
yourself
or
with one coach and just shoot and shoot and shoot. That's why so many guys just improve as shooters in the league. The thing about Hampton, man, is just like he's just got to play and get reps with high-level competition. So if he was in some of these like LA or Arizona pickup runs where there were a lot of pros playing in those runs, I think that stuff would be good for him because he just needs more experience, man. He just needs more experience going against top-level competition.
Yeah.
There's always defense, too, and look, his reputation as a defender as a pro wasn't great. I mean, there are some clips, you can cherry pick clips of any guys looking good or poorly, but there are some clips of him looking less than engaged. If it's no secret that the key to Michael Malone's heart and your spot in the Denver Nuggets rotation is focusing up on that end.
Yeah.
And, look, RJ's going to be a lower end role player if he stays in Denver before he's anything like trying to figure out if he's a star. And so he's got to be able to play D as well.
Well, I mean, he's definitely got the size. And, I mean, that's a lot of defense, right? It's just being in front of people, making sure that he's tall and he's quick. So if you sort of learn positionally where you're supposed to be, he's got all of the tools he needs to be able to be an impactful defensive player.
The Nuggets are high on his defensive upside.
Yeah.
I think they view him as a defensive player, like a two-way player. I mean, a two-way.
That's
player.
interesting because he was like terrible defensively last
But again,
season, and he's so
18 years old,
right,
and skinny.
He's so young. He's so skinny. Like, I actually like Hampton's frame just from looking at him. He looks like a guy who can put on a lot of muscle and like really keep his athleticism and verticality. So I'm buying it too. He's got the athleticism, obviously. Just it's like to be an above the rim presence too.
For me, what I think he should be working on is everything to do with dribble handoff. So of course that includes shooting, that includes some of his like pick and roll game and this or that. But the thing that makes me excited about him specifically, alongside Nikola Jokic, is he's so fast. And guarding a player when you have to be honest against them, meaning you can't go under the screen or around or whatever. When you have to be honest, the quicker a player is, especially that first step, not end to end, but just that first step, the quicker you are, the more impossible it is, because you either chase him over the screen and then he hits the afterburners as he turns the corner and beats you, or you play him too tight, you backdoor cut. So for me, it would be all about the footwork and the technical aspects of the dribble handoff game, because the perfect world, he evolves into the secondary playmaker off of the Jokic Murray pick and roll. You run that first, you reverse it over to him, and now he's running off that handoff. And if he just nails that aspect of it, you're talking 12, 13, 14 points per game player off of that before you add any other aspects of his game. So
And what's so exciting about him is that the Nuggets have never had an athlete
Exactly,
like
man.
RJ Hampton.
It's true.
And he's the fastest guy on the team end to end right now. Who's even the second fastest? Like, he is the fastest by a significant margin.
yeah. And I've even heard some stories about this in practice so far this week, doing wind sprints and full court races, and he's guys trying to challenge him because he's so fast. They're like, let me see how it is. It's not close. He's the fastest guy.
He might be the best dunker on the team too. I mean, before you even start analyzing this pick from like a basketball fit, it's fun.
Yeah.
In a way you want as a fan.
And to me, the question with him is how hard is he going to work? But he seems like a worker.
Yeah.
I just like that he's the centerpiece of our third core.
It is the centerpiece of the third core. Over under. So we talked about Jokic. I'm curious. He's going to look great with Jokic eventually, but this season, over under 1 minute. 1 minute with Jokic.
This is per game or for the whole season?
For the whole season. Is he going to play one single minute alongside Nikola Jokic?
Oh, man. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under,
Use
man.
mine, Adam.
Okay.
He's going to get garbage time.
No,
but
you know what?
He's not
I'm
playing
going
with
over two.
Jokic.
I'm going over two.
It's 1 minute.
I think he gets minimum 2 minutes.
Maximum 4.
Maximum 4 minutes.
3
absolutely.
cents just
But
right.
seriously, Harrison, I mean, come on. A lot of things happen over the course of a season. I think we all think he's mostly a redshirt guy, but maybe gets those token garbage time minutes. So that's why I put him with Jokic, because what are the chances Jokic is on the court at the same
you know
time
how
he
when
is?
you go to a garbage time lineup and you go to like your 3 garbage time players when there are 3 minutes left, and then you go to like the real end of the bench guys when there's like a minute left. RJ Hampton is the real end of the bench guy. He's like the furthest guy down on the bench, so I don't know.
Marcus Howard's further down the bench than him. Come on.
Absolutely. And again, we're definitely going to get this year's version of the 7.
Yeah.
And
he
there's
might be part of it.
There's
could.
an easy chance he's a number.
Super
Save it for my bold take.
No, super fun question. Well, maybe am I going to ruin your bold take if I say, what would be your version of the 7 this year? If you could pick 7 guys, and they can't just be the top 7 guys, but give me your. This is a fun question.
Yeah, this is actually like what like if you put together a fantasy squad, not even fantasy sports, just like in your mind, what is the most delicious combination of players?
So I think you still need you still need Yoke.
Yeah, you still need
Yoke,
Jokic.
but then it's like the band of Bad News Bears guys. So
Bol.
Oh, definitely
Bull
on there.
definitely
Bull Bull's
in there.
definitely on there.
Vlatko.
Vlatko's definitely on
He's
there.
in there.
RJ Hampton's on there.
Vlatko's
Dan.
in there
Hampton
for
is
every
on
seven
there.
game.
I mean, we only have 3 players.
Is it
left.
is Zeke Naji?
I think Zeke Naji.
sneaking in?
Yeah, no, it's
Campasso is on there.
Campasso,
Campasso is on
1000%,
there for
yeah.
sure.
PJ Dozier, original.
PJ
seven
Dozier,
guy.
he's an original.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
We only have
PJ.
one more player.
Crap, guys, this is really
who
tough.
rounds out the 7?
Who rounds it out for sure?
It's got to
Still
be
be
Marcus
Wancho.
Howard.
Is
Are
it
you kidding?
Kada?
No.
It's Marcus
Who
Howard.
do you have? Kada,
No.
RJ.
We already said
We
RJ.
already said RJ.
It's
Who's our
Marcus
7th?
Howard.
Marcus Howard.
Man, that might be worse than the 7th. though.
Greg
But you know what?
Oh
Whittington?
my gosh.
Greg Whittington.
Greg Whittington. It's
Whittington.
Greg Whittington. Yeah, it
That's
is.
like,
Well, last
that's
year
like
was
saying, like,
Vlatko.
you can go in a candy store and you pick out like I don't know, a bit of honey. or
Oh,
something, like,
oh, wow. Well, that was a fun and pointless exercise. I want to play some What Are the Odds? Let's check out What Are the Odds, because here's the real question for RJ Hampton. It's maybe not going to be answered this year, but it's going to be answered over the next several years, and that is, what are the odds, meaning percentages, that RJ Hampton becomes a piece of the core of the Denver Nuggets? That at some point, we talk about him as a core member of the Denver Nuggets. I think right now there's only 3. Jokic, Murray, MPJ.
I can't believe Gary got bumped off of that. I mean, it's like I think that's
accurate.
the consensus.
But Gary
it's
is
crazy.
like so far off of it now that Bull might be the next guy up in
What?
the core.
Oh my god.
Well, you've got the core as in like these are the guys you build around, and like other pieces can move, and you're still the same team. And I think that's why I look at it this way. Like if Gary left, I don't think the Nuggets they're a little different, but I don't think they're completely different.
No, I think it's true. I'm just saying, like, sign of the times here. Like Gary was, we looked at like though that is the rock around
I
which you
know.
build, and now
Yeah.
it's like we want to trade Gary for every player that's out there to be
so
traded
true.
for.
It's so true. But what would you say the odds are here, Eric? I mean, this is just uneducated
I
guess.
think the odds are quite high. I think that the odds are. I mean, we'll say 60%. We'll say 60%.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I just think that the Nuggets like this guy, and they really. So I mean, it's going to be a while now. It'll be 3-4 years down the road, but the way this team is built and the way that the NBA is built, I mean, it's sort of built for the Nuggets to sort of grow and molt and grow and molt, and it's like we're not necessarily bringing in new players. It's just we have to continually restock the cupboard, and so I feel like that's the plan for him is just to have the beanstalk grows, he shoots up to the top. I don't know how many more
forgot what I was
metaphors I
gonna
could
say.
throw.
How many, what are we doing here? Wow. Okay. Vote. That's what it's like to answer the question incoherently. What's it like to answer it coherently?
Okay, so I would say maybe 10% chance.
Okay.
Look, you have to understand that RJ Hampton was picked 24th for a reason, and I think it was more than just, we went abroad instead
41
of playing
from
in
Nikola
college.
Jokic.
51 for Monte Morris.
This is a guy who has odds of, I think, busting out altogether. And we're talking about a guy with a high ceiling. I don't think it's a high floor necessarily. But
I agree.
when we list out the Denver Nuggets core, guys, there's a chance maybe we're getting closer to the end of one of, if not both, Gary Harris or Will Barton. Well, man, they're missing a shooting guard. They're missing a shooting guard in that core. And they don't have the absolute freak athlete. So there's something delicious about the idea of RJ just slotting in with those guys.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about that wind chimes graph. I'd go like 20%. 20%. I'm a big RJ guy, but still, to get
I
to
agree.
that level, to get to the Jokic, Murray, MPJ, to get to that level to be in the core, it's a high standard. It's a really high standard.
So what I like about the 5 players that we would envision as like the brightest timeline, right, which is the core 3, MPJ, Murray, Jokic, and then you got RJ Hampton and Bol Bol. And what I like about those 5 is that they're all so different. Like MPJ is this volume scorer kind of, this thing. Jokic is the generational passer and just like such a weird player. Murray is your Steph Curry mold, the Dame Lillard, Steph Curry mold. RJ Hampton is like the speedy super athlete, and that's fun. It's like a whole different thing than what they have. And then of course Bol Bol is like just this crazy 7'2" guy. Like
what is Bol
they're
Bol?
all so different. It would be one thing if you had a team and it was like, okay, there's a little overlap. These 2 guys are the same, like a CJ and Dame. Like they kind of no. RJ represents a completely different thing. But I'm going to also say about 15%. That can go up a lot. We're going to find out a lot over this first year. But I think you always take the odds against a player becoming a star, which is basically what
We're not even talking
You're a
about a lottery
coward.
pick, which is
Right.
something you just have to remember at the end of the day.
Right. All right, let's wrap this up by talking about a bold prediction for RJ Hampton. It's hard to get bold for RJ because we just don't know. Let's see here. Who goes first? Oh, yeah, we always go with vote.
Vote is always first,
sorry,
followed by
guys.
you, then me, then the
All right,
giggler.
RJ Hampton is going to banish someone to the Shadow Realm in garbage time.
He's going to catch a body.
He's going to catch a body. And you know what? Originally I had garbage time. I'm going to amend this. It's whatever this year's version of the 7-game is.
It's going to happen then.
The highlight is RJ putting someone 6 feet under.
Wow.
Nice.
I like it. I'm next. So I think that mine's kind of lame, to be honest with you guys. I think he's going to provide a nice behind-the-scenes look at the Nuggets.
Wow, that is
Okay.
That's a bold prediction.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Okay.
I worked really
There's
late.
a nugget for you.
Really late this week coming up with things. Here's the one thing I'll say about RJ. It does seem like he is, online a lot. He's a very online guy.
Oh.
So, online with RJ.
Guy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is he going to replace me?
Well, maybe. I mean,
right.
they'll agree
I
to
think
it.
RJ's busy.
All right, Harrison, do you have something more bold than
Trying
to say something
RJ
so
Hampton shows big Mr. Nugget energy.
Oh, yes.
this
This is
season.
a
There's
great
already
one.
been a little of this. I don't know if you guys have been online a lot these days, but he's hyping up MPJ on Twitter, calling MPJ an all-star, hyping up this Nugget squad. I saw him wearing a Rockies hat in a Snapchat video.
Smart move.
He ditched the Dodgers hat, got a Rockies
I
hat.
love
Nice
it.
move there.
Oh, I love
Big
it.
upgrade.
He gets
Dude,
kid
we're
gets
so easy, man. We're so easy.
Just don't like LA.
yeah.
I feel like to have the Mr. Nugget title, look, you got to earn it, but it also could just be something that naturally rotates every couple of years.
You can't teach Mr. Nugget. You can't teach that.
Like Gary had it. It was obviously, it was Gary's time to relinquish the title. Now Monte has it. Who knows? In a couple of years, it could be RJ.
Eric, you're going to be bold and
Well,
brave.
let's find out together, shall we? We won't see him play this year. Unfortunately, I don't believe we'll see him play this year. As much as I want to, 60% of me believes that he'll be a core player for the Nuggets moving forward, but I just don't believe that timeline starts this year. There's just too many other players similar to him positionally on the Nuggets. I mean, we loaded up on guards. He is a guard.
What can you do?
Sorry, RJ.
All right, well, that's it for RJ, guys. We are going to have for a premium for members, DNVR members, you can go to thednvr.com, get part 2 of this, which features the list, the fan vote, the irrational fan, and then maybe some wind chimes.
Wind chimes.
Are you hearing some things about RJ?
Hearing a lot about RJ Hampton. A lot of people are talking about RJ
A lot of people
Hampton.
talking. You can find that behind the paywall over at thednvr.com. We'll see everybody next time.